Hi, I'm Jane, co-founder of FIT KRU, and this is my personal story. So I grew up in a small town called Aldridge in the West Midlands, UK, with my mum, my dad and my older sister. My best friend lived opposite and we lived in a cul-de-sac, so it was always a really nice, safe place growing up. I had a really lovely, happy childhood. I was always really good at sports at school, so I was in all the teams. I was really small, I was fast, I used to win all my races and I just excelled at sports. I think I was always body conscious from a young age. My mum struggled with her weight and was often on a diet, and my sister, when she hit puberty, also was on a diet and struggled with her weight, and she would exercise like crazy in her bedroom after school doing her aerobics. So I was always quite aware of putting on weight. It wasn't until I hit puberty myself that I really began to have an issue and a problem with food. So I hit puberty about 15 and I just suddenly put on weight like overnight, felt like overnight, and I grew these boobs and I just got all this, suddenly got all this attention, and I just felt really self-conscious and really uncomfortable in my own skin. I didn't relate to this new body and I didn't like myself. So there was all these negative feelings, and at the same time I was also being bullied at school, and I was studying for my GCSE, so it was all a very intense sort of time for me. And this one day, me and my best friend, just messing around being kids, we decided to do a photo shoot, a lingerie photo shoot, just playing around, and we took some snaps of each other. And this was the 90s, so there was no instant photos, you had to go and get them developed. And when I got the pictures back and I saw myself and I saw this body, I just hated them. I hated myself. I hated the way I looked. And I didn't have the body and the athletic build that I'd always had. So I just had all these negative thoughts about my body image and what I looked like. And part of the bullying at school was I'd take a lunchbox to school and they would steal everything out of my lunchbox before I even had a chance to eat any of it. And if I took money to school, they would harass me and bully me into giving them the money. So in the end, my only defence was I stopped taking a lunchbox, I stopped taking money, and I basically just stopped eating at school. Because of all the negative things going on, I just stopped it. And because I wasn't eating then all day, I'd get home from school and be absolutely starving, and I'd eat like bowl after bowl of cereal, sometimes 5 bowls in a row, and then I'd feel absolutely horrendous about myself, and I'd feel disgusted with myself and ugly and fat, and all these really negative feelings about myself would just erupt. And this is really where the eating disorder started, and this is where I really began to struggle. And I mean, I can say it now. It was where the bulimia started. So yeah, it was all very negative and a negative time for me. And then one of the things I used to do, just because I felt like this, was I started doing crazy exercise. So I'd get up at 5 o'clock before school and go on a crazy bike ride just to burn extra calories, because I just thought if I can burn extra calories, I'm not eating all day, I'll feel better about myself. So yeah, so it was a very intense time. And around the same time I met my very first boyfriend, and we were kids, and he was a couple of years older than me, and I just wanted to impress him all the time. But I felt these negative thoughts about myself, so I'd often cover myself up. I was wearing big baggy jumpers and tracky bottoms, and I was 15, I had no sense of style at all. So yeah, I just wanted to hide myself, and because I was struggling, I struggled to talk about things. I didn't tell anybody my problems, and I didn't. You just get on with it when you're that age. You don't talk about things, and I struggled to talk to him about what was going on, and he'd come and see me and I'd just be very upset, and eventually he just got really fed up of it. So he came to me one night and said, I don't want you to be like this anymore, Jane. I want you to look nice. I want you to dress nice. I want you to make the most of yourself. And it was just, he wanted me to look better. And so I felt really insecure about this, and I was like, right, what am I going to do? He's going to dump me. So I then had to try and make myself look nice. So I bought new clothes and tried to make myself feel good, but all of the time I was just feeling really insecure, and I didn't like myself, but I was trying to mask those feelings all of the time. So yeah, it was all very intense. So I left school in '99 doing my GCSEs, and in that year, my 16th birthday, my nan just suddenly passed away, and it was really hard, and it really hit me really hard. It was my 16th birthday and I should be happy, but it was a really sad time, and I think I just went into a very deep grief that I really haven't talked about, or I couldn't talk. I just struggled to talk to anybody about my feelings at that time. So that was a really difficult time, and this is where the bulimia kind of it became my thing. It was my way of coping. It was my way of expressing and getting those feelings out, and it felt like it was my security blanket. And then not long after, really, me and my first boyfriend, we split up, and again that was a really negative time. I felt really low. I think probably the lowest I've ever felt in my life, and really lost with myself. And this is again where the eating disorder just became my thing. It became my security and the thing that seemed to help me. And the only thing then that I really could do is I went out loads, and I found that going out was my way of expressing myself. So I went out and I used to dance, and I just loved it. I loved dancing. It was like my therapy. So I'd go out and meet my friends, and we'd have a great time, and I just forgot about everything. I forgot about everything when I was on the dance floor, and just loved it. And it was when I was out dancing one night that I got headhunted, and I got spotted, and I got asked to be a dancer, like a professional dancer. So that's when I started working in a nightclub, in a gay club, as a professional dancer. And this was like my dream job, because dancing was like my therapy, and being up on stage in front of hundreds of people, although that would seem odd with my body issues, was a way of me expressing myself, and I just loved it, and it was like therapy for me. So yeah, that was great. And then I had a couple of relationships along the way, and they broke up, and there was negative times, and all the time I had this eating disorder. It was my stable, I suppose, in my life. And it wasn't until my late 20s, I was 28 when I met my now husband, Rich, and we got a connection from the past, so we knew each other from years ago. So there was an instant connection with us, and we instantly got on, and he just made me feel so relaxed. For the first time in my life, I felt really comfortable and relaxed with this person, and it was great. And a year into our relationship, he asked me to marry him. So it was a total surprise, and I couldn't believe it. It was just, I'd never thought anyone would want to marry me. So it was lovely, and so we got married, and here I am now at 37, and I've had a baby. I've got a beautiful little girl, and I've been through all of those body issues through pregnancy and my body changing, and I've beaten my bulimia. I'm recovered. So this is why FIT KRU is so important, because if I can help other people, if I can make a difference to other people, people who are struggling just like I have with any mental issues as well, then this is my purpose.